Hey everyone. So today we're going to talk about a pretty huge shift in how we see AI in the classroom. And look, if you think AI is just a fancy homework machine, you're really only seeing a tiny piece of the puzzle. We're talking about moving from AI as just an assistant to AI as a true creative partner.
So this really breaks it down, right? On one side, you've got the AI we're all kind of used to. It's a great support tool, right? It can summarize stuff, it can spit out some text. But on the other side, that's where things get interesting. The idea of AI as a collaborative partner, a co-creator that actually helps us think differently and learn better. That's the big leap we're going to explore.
And this exact question was recently put to the test in a fascinating study at Ionian University. Students were given a project, create art using AI. And almost immediately, they ran smack into this dilemma. Is this thing here to support me, or is it here to just replace my own work?
And while the students thought the AI was incredibly useful, a common worry started to pop up, a feeling that their own creative spark was kinda fading. The ease of getting answers felt a bit like a cheat code, you know? It encouraged them to be more passive and skip over the tough, messy, but necessary steps of real thinking. A student named Panos just hit the nail on the head. He said that for AI to have any real value in education, it has to be a supportive tool, something that helps you understand, not just a machine that gives you the final answer. It just perfectly captures that tension between genuine help and just doing the work for you.
Okay, but this is where the story takes a really interesting turn. The students didn't just spot the problem and stop there. They actually stumbled onto a solution. And the turning point wasn't about using AI less, it was about learning to talk to it in a totally new way.
And you know where the breakthrough came from? A pretty weird place: failure. The researchers called them semantic deadlocks, basically moments where the AI just completely misunderstood what the students wanted. But instead of getting frustrated, the students saw it as a creative challenge. These little breakdowns forced them to stop, rethink their questions, and start a much, much deeper conversation with the machine. And what they stumbled into is this really powerful idea called dialogic learning. It's the whole concept that we use language and interaction as a tool for our own thinking. So instead of just barking commands at the AI, they started having actual conversations with it, using that back and forth to sharpen their own ideas and really push what the AI could do. So they came up with two main ways to do this. The structured approach was like setting the stage, giving the AI a ton of context, defining what they wanted to achieve, and just being super clear about their goals. The critical approach, on the other hand, was more like playing devil's advocate. The students would challenge the AI's answers, ask it for proof, and even question its built-in biases. Both of these methods totally changed the game, putting the student right back in the driver's seat of their own learning.
So what happened when they started talking to AI this way? Well, it started to change. It began to take on these completely new, totally unexpected roles in their creative work.
The first surprising new role was this idea of a co-player. The AI stopped being just a work tool and became more like a partner for playful experiments and discovery. You have got to hear the story of a student named Rania. She was super skeptical about AI at first. So for her project, she decides to explore the idea of beauty. She asks the AI for a picture of a beautiful woman. And then she just kept asking it, okay, now give me an even more beautiful woman, again and again. Eventually, the AI's images started to get all distorted and weird, showing the edges of its programming. But through this playful little game, Rania found herself in this state of deep creative focus, what psychologists call a flow state. How cool is that? The second role that popped up was, wow, even more profound. The AI became a safe space, a place that was emotionally neutral, totally free from the fear of being judged. I mean, for any student who has ever felt anxious about making a mistake, this is huge. The AI became a low-pressure zone to just try things. This quote from a student with dyslexia is just so powerful. It shows how the AI gave them a new sense of independence and took away that social fear of having to ask for help. And that feeling of safety? It led directly to incredible art. A student named Samili used different AI tools to create this stunning audiovisual piece. It visualized her own personal experience with dyslexia as a journey, a wanderer through labyrinths. The AI wasn't just a tool for her, it was a partner that gave her the freedom to express something deeply personal. So what's the big takeaway here? What does this all tell us about the future of education? Well, these student experiences all point in one direction: a hybrid, human-centered approach. A student named Marina, I think, just summed up the perfect model. The goal isn't to choose between a human teacher or an AI. It's about blending them, using the wisdom and mentorship of an expert to kick things off, and then using the incredible power of an AI partner to explore and create.
The study has a name for this future. They call it co-agency. It's this idea that knowledge isn't just handed down, it's built together. And this image, which a student actually made with AI, it's the perfect metaphor. See how these two figures are working on the same structure? That's the idea. Humans and AI working together, building something new that neither one could build alone.
And all of this leaves us with one final and, I think, really crucial question. This study suggests that as AI gets more powerful, maybe the most important skills we'll need aren't technical at all. They're human. Perhaps the biggest challenge ahead isn't building a better AI, but learning how to have a better conversation with it.